Hello and welcome to this tutorial video on how I make Smash Bros montages. In this video, I'll be showing you how I make these montages and what is needed so that you can make your very own. Shout out to Jerry Jr. for requesting this video. I'm finally getting to your request, so I'm really sorry about that. So firstly, we're going to need some clips. There are two ways to get these clips. One is by having a capture card system. I own the Elgato HD60S and I use it to record 1080p 60fps videos. The capture card is rather pricey though, so if you don't got that kind of money, you can still record and transfer your clips right from your Nintendo Switch. So first, you'll need to save the replay of a match where you got a good clip, whether it's a nice combo or just something funny happened. After you've saved the replay, you need to go to the replay data here, that is found in replays, select your clip, and then select Convert to Video. Once you do that, you'll need to wait until the replay is fully converted. I've already converted it to save some time for this tutorial. Once that's done, you need to make sure that it's still there. So go to the Video tab and check to see if it works. Key piece of information that I need to let you guys know about, you absolutely have to make sure that you have the music on in your settings before you save your replay. Otherwise, if you do not have that selected or on at any capacity, your replay, once it's converted, will have no sound at all. And that's just not great. So you gotta make sure to have everything turned on in terms of audio. If you want to make an edit on the clip that you have saved in the video, you can do so by going to the Edit Video tab here. I personally do not do this because I simply do the edits in a video editing program. However, if you wish to do so, you can make the video shorter, resave it as another video file. Again, make sure that your audio files are all maxed, so music, sound, and voices, when you reconvert. And then it will be the same thing, except it'll just be shorter. Once you've done that for one clip, do it for all of your clips that you want to put into your montage. So after you've finished all that hard work, you'll need to quit Smash Bros. Make sure to turn off your Switch, so not sleep mode, you have to actually hold the power button, which I'm about to do right now. Go to Power Options, and then hit Turn Off Switch. This is important. So once you turn off your Switch, be sure to throw it into the trash. Okay, so what you really need to do is once you've turned off your Switch, eject the micro SD card from the back of the Switch. It'll be located behind the Switch's stand. Now, you won't really be able to use the micro SD card the way that it is now. You'll need a micro SD card adapter. They're rather inexpensive. They're no more than $5. Now that you have it, be sure to insert the micro SD card into the adapter and insert that into an SD card reader. If your computer doesn't have an SD card reader built in, you will need to buy an external one. Those range from $10 to $20 depending on where you go. So now that you've finally taken your SD card adapter with the micro SD card in it and put it into the SD card reader, it'll pop up as an external device. So now that you see that you have your device right over here, we're going to click it, go into Nintendo, go into Album, go into Extra, click into the folder that has a bunch of random characters, pick the year that you have saved your replay, in this case it's 2021, click the month that you've done it, click the day. I done some extra takes, so that's why you see a different number. And now you should have your clip. Let's see if the clip works. If you look at that, everything is in order. So now that you see that your clip or clips have worked and everything is okay, be sure to put them in a good location on your desktop. I'm going to put mine on the desktop. You can find a folder in your hard drive or something like that. All you need to know though is that be sure to organize it, because we will need a nice organized place to retrieve all the files in a video editing software. Okay, so now that you have your clips in a nice organized folder somewhere, you'll need to put them in a video editing program. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. However, that has a monthly or yearly fee that you need to pay. So if you don't have that kind of money, you can download a free one from online. Now from this point onwards, I'll be explaining some of the terminology that is shared amongst all video editing software. They'll just have different keys, shortcuts, and layouts. So we're going to start off by importing our files. In Premiere Pro case, it's as simple as right-clicking and selecting import. But before we import our files, if you'd like, this is completely optional, you can make what's known as a bin in Premiere Pro. And a bin is just something that lets you keep track of everything that you import, so that the main workspace over here doesn't get crowded. So I'd like to right click, new bin. Now we have a bin. I'm just going to call this clips. Then we're going to double click into the bin. And now we have our own subsection for clips. And you can still import your files into this bin. So now that you have your clips, in this case I'm just going to show the one for the sake of the tutorial. You have it over here. I just want you to move it into the workspace by dragging it in. You can see here that you have two specific bars. You have the video on top here that shows what's showing up on the screen over here, and down here you have the volume. So just to kind of see where we're at, let's just play what the clip has at the moment. So as you can see, the clip works nicely and the volume is a little low. However, we shouldn't be adjusting volumes just yet because we still need to put a bunch of other things into the montage. However, if you do wish to increase the volume, you can do this by using this little slider over here. You can select it, it can go higher, and it can go lower. It's up to you, and depending on what you are doing, like would you want to have your montage be more meme-like, so the memes are more prevalent, or do you kind of want to show off more of Smash Bros and you want to have those sound effects in? So at this moment, this is how I like to do things. I have the whole clip here, it's a 2-minute clip, and I only have 2 segments of this clip that actually have something that I can put into the montage. So what you need to do, if you'd like to do it the way I do it, is you can scrub through the clip, which is basically just taking this blue line here and kind of moving it along to see what happens until you find what you're looking for. And then once you do, you'll be able to cut the pieces off. So I should be approaching it soon. So yeah, it's right here. So I will hit the C key and we'll get into the cut tool. I hold shift to be able to select all layers in the workspace, and then I simply left click. And now I've started a cut. And we're going to see how far this goes. And that is what I am going to use for one of my clips. If you see that it's gone too far, in Premiere Pro, you can just hit the left arrow key to go back 1 frame at a time. So now that it's at the appropriate place that I want it to be at, I will make another cut here, doing the same thing, and now I just have this clip. I will simply select all the additional content that I have and delete it, since I no longer need it. Once you do all that, you just have to rinse and repeat for every replay that you decide to save, or if you are using a capture card, you're just going to be scrubbing through the footage that you have recorded, and that's going to take its own time. So that'll be the next step. Simply cut and trim all the clips that you have so that you solely just have the clips and not any of the empty space. Okay, so now that you've got all your clips all nice cut up and trimmed, we now need to get to the main meat and potatoes of the montage, the music and the memes. So similarly to how we imported our clips, we need to do the same with the music. So if you'd like, for organization purposes, I'll be doing it, making a bin for the music, and then I'm going to double click into it, and then same thing as before, you can import music. But where are you going to find music? Well, I get a lot of my stuff from YouTube. How do you do that though? Well, if you're looking for a certain piece of music or a certain sound effect for your memes, just type it into the search bar and see what you can find. So let's say you want to look for the oof sound effect. So I'm just going to type in oof. Here's the sound effect. And you're going to have to like look around, see what you can find. You should be able, this one should be the one. This is from Minecraft. But if you want the Roblox one, that's pretty good, right? Let's say you want that one. So how do you get it? Well, you're going to take this link, you're going to copy it, and then you're going to put it in an online video converter. Now I use 4K video downloader. It's as simple as copying your link. So if I go and I copy this link, and you can simply hit paste and it'll pop up and you'll be able to convert it in its video form or in its audio form, whatever you choose. So now that you have your meme sound effect, you want to put it in your video. So same thing as before with your clips, you take your sound effect and you move it into the audio tab. So now you should have it here. Let's zoom in a little bit. And you'll notice that once we extend this over here, as such, you'll notice that there's a lot of empty space for this sound effect. So if you want to make it look a little nicer or know where everything starts, just be sure to cut off the pieces like this. Basically, it's just the C tool again in Premiere Pro, and then you cut where the wave form is. In this case, this is the actual sound effects. Everything else is silence. Delete the silence, and now you should have your sound effect. Now, where do you put your sound effect? Well, how I like to do it is the impact that occurs in Smash Bros. Whenever that occurs, that's where I put the sound effect. So in this case, right as Pichu is about to get hit by Supernova here. No, Supernova. What is wrong with me? This is Flare. So he's going to get hit here. And you can see, if we move frame by frame, he was at 115, 110. Yeah, no, 109 actually. No. I'm a professional YouTuber. Okay. So he's actually at 110 because Pichu hurts himself with his up B. And the moment the impact happens, right about here, we can put the sound effect. So let's see what this sounds like. And that's kind of the basics of putting meme sound effects. You put it in relation to what has occurred in your clips. So next we're going to talk about music. So once you've taken your music from YouTube and you've copied the link, you put it in a video converter, you need to then, again, put it in the project, same as before. Here I'm taking this piece of music here, Stand Your Ground from Final Fantasy 15. I happen to really like the soundtrack. And once you have it in, you can't just, you could if you wanted to, just plop it in and just call it here. But what I like to do is I like to give it a listen every couple of times, and I like to mark key important moments in the soundtrack that has a certain level of impact. So what I really mean by that is you take a listen to the sound and you see where it would sound cool or sound appropriate for your certain clips to be. And I like to do this by using the marker key here. Once you have your audio tracked or even your video highlighted as such, and you play through it, you can make a mark so long as it's playing, or when it's paused if you wish to pause it. So let me show you the first maybe 10 seconds on how I do it. So that's how I like to mark things. As you can see, it's nice and even, and even though it's it looks pretty small, especially in comparison to some of the clips, this is mostly for the beginning area. I like to kind of be flashy with my montages in the beginning sometimes, and other times I just like to keep it at a nice consistent rate. But you would if you wish to still kind of focus on that kind of flow, then continue to proceed putting markings down in the entire soundtrack. This one that I have here loops, as you can see, so I can get rid of it after the 3-minute-ish mark, because you don't want your montages being too long, but you also don't want them being too short. So speaking about how to make montages, that's going to be entirely up to you. You see, this is how I like to do montages overall, because this is my style, and other people have their own styles. And depending on who you ask, you will get various different answers. Some people will tell you, don't use the overused memes, because they've been overused and they're no longer quote-unquote funny, and you need to think outside the box. But other people will tell you that it's okay to use some of these overused memes, because as long as it's funny and people like them, put them in the montage. And ultimately, this is my personal piece of advice, put something in that you enjoy. Even if it's something that's kind of obscure and people don't really understand, you could be introducing something completely new to them, and that would be amazing, right? It's a nice change of pace anyway. Just remember to have your own style. You can take inspiration from other montages that you viewed, in my own included. However, flat out just copying a certain style, it's not going to feel like yours. And even though it's nice to make that kind of montage and, you know, kind of siphon from that success, you'll feel so much better making a montage just that basically screams you, because you made it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to teach you when it comes to memes is how to implement a green screen. So as you can see here, I have the screaming here, this guy screaming. I can never pronounce it. It's Penguins Zero, whatever, right? You know which one I'm talking about. And I want to put him in a certain part of the montage here. So here's the whole clip. If you're just looking for the initial part, then you'll just have this. And that's perfectly okay. But if you want other parts,
baby, that's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Then you just have to look and see what fits for what you have. Now, as you can already see, all you see is green in the background. You can't see the smash clip anymore, even though you can hear it. So how do you get rid of it? In Premiere Pro, you can use something called Ultra Key. So you just go to the Effects tab here, type in Ultra, and that's the search engine for this application, and you can take the function here, drag it onto the video section of the clip. So now that you have that in, take the droplet tool and pick the green background. It will now get rid of the green background, but still keep the main focus at hand. And you'll be able to see the smash clip occurring. So, what I'm going to do is, for this particular clip, I'm going to only take this part. And delete the rest. And it's going to happen right here, the moment the KO screen comes into play. So at that exact precise moment, I'm going to move it over as such. Pretty good, right? But it's missing something. It needs a better placement than this. So first we're going to extend it just a little bit so it fits perfectly with the frames. That's more of a me thing, so don't need to worry about that. And then he's kind of just in the center of the screen, not exactly looking at what's happening. So we need to flip him around. So I'm going to type in flip, and you want to flip him horizontally. So we're going to do that. It will immediately take effect. But now he's kind of too big. So we're going to shrink him a little bit by just double clicking the image up here and dragging the picture as such. We're going to move him about here. And let's take a look at the final product. Pretty good, right? And that's the basics of implementing Ultra Key onto your green screens. That sounded really weird, I am so sorry, but that's the message that I'm trying to get at. That's how you apply Ultra Key to a green screen to fit with your clips. And that's the basics of making a montage. You can experiment with video and sound effects by playing around in your editing software. Now, if there's a specific editing technique that you'd like to learn, be sure to leave a comment and I'll either explain how to do it, or I'll make a short video on it, since there's only so much I can explain in this one video. But this particular video covers the bare essentials, the fundamentals of montage creation. At the end of this, I'm going to show you guys a sample montage that I made against the CPUs because I only have so much time. So I hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to take care of yourselves, alright?
Be gone! Sucks!
to the promised land.
Foot dive!
Get over here!
Mr. Squidward! I should kick your fucking ass!
No hesitation.